everybody, Steve Taylor here with Steve Taylor's Community Connection. I'm here with Cheri Dennis from the Toledo SeaGate Food Bank. And we're here today, we're going to talk about a couple things in particular, but we've got the PJ project going on now, right?
We do.
We're trying to get some people to donate pajamas to help out local families in need.
Right.
I first heard about this on the radio station. I think one morning I was driving to work and maybe it was K100, they were talking about it, and I couldn't believe, I was blown away when they talked about how many kids in our community don't have pajamas.
Right.
And something so basic that you know, I never thought about. Obviously we hear about, you know, the food bank and helping with, you know, food and whatnot, but boy, just pajamas, it really struck out to me. So we said, hey, let's see if we can get you in here and we can talk about this, see how we can help, but then also see how our viewers can get involved and help too. So tell us a little bit about the project.
First of all, thanks for having me.
Yeah, well, thank you for being here.
Yeah, and big up to K100 for doing that.
That's right, they got the ball rolling.
That's right,
Yep,
yeah.
yep.
So Project PJ, so this is our 12th annual Project PJ. It actually started as we just saw that there was a need for awareness at the fact that children didn't have warm bedtime items or even essentials. I mean, books, socks, just things that we take for granted, right?
Sure.
And so we constructed Project PJ in order to just fill that hole.
Nice.
So that's awesome. It's awesome to be at an independent food bank because where we see that there's a hole in resources, we can actually build a bridge in order to connect people to those resources.
Yeah, that's great. So you're able to move quickly, and when you find that something you need to jump on and get involved with and help, that's where you focus your efforts.
That's right.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
That's right.
Well, good deal. How can people get involved, and how can other people that are watching, how can they get involved? Are you looking, I'm sure they're brand new PJs, monetary donations, I'm sure you're always looking for food too, but tell us, how can people really that are watching get involved?
So both ways, we try to make it really easy for the people. They can go to our website, which is www.seagatefoodbank.org.
Okay.
They can click on Project PJ there. We try to make it super easy. We also have on that site, there is a link to Amazon, which we have we created a wish list.
Oh, wow.
For just the things that we need, because we did find that when it comes to size-wise, we always get the pretty things for the girls, right? But we're leaving the fellas out, especially when it comes to like teenage guys. We're leaving them out. So we have a wish list on there, so that wish list is comprised of the things that we need most.
That's great.
And then we also have some super awesome, just angels in the community. Businesses like Taylor Kia, as well as some others that have put those boxes, those collection boxes in their businesses. So I think we have over 30 spots.
Wow.
It's not just in Toledo, we're throughout Northwest Ohio.
Great.
So just go to our website, find those spots, donate what you can. Every little bit helps. A pair of socks goes a super long way.
Especially this time of year, right?
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. So we're really grateful for just all of the support and just all of the hyping up of Project PJ.
Nice,
So,
nice.
yeah.
And you know, Cheri, you guys do so much great work in the community. You really do,
Thank
SeaGate.
you.
And so it's just an honor really to have you in, not to just talk about the PJ project, but other things that you do in regard to supplying food to the communities. You know, we've been a partner now for, I think, 2 or 3 years, and we're just really so impressed with the work you do in the community. So
Well, thank you so
it's
much.
just such a pleasure to have you in and to have you voice, you know, your opinion on what's going on, how you guys do it in the community. So thank you very much.
Thank you for having me. It's been a joy. And thank you again to all the supporters of Taylor Kia for those 12 days of Christmas. We had a lot of fun making that video.
We've got to talk about that because
Yes.
you guys did a great job. You got people involved. You made a great video. So we had 12 local organizations throughout Northwest Ohio that we were trying to see if we could help them raise some money with our bobblehead, right?
Yeah,
You were able to buy some
yeah.
bobbleheads and have some fun with it. We called it the greatest white elephant Christmas gift around. We made fun of, you know, low supplies, shelves running out of things, but we said, hey, you can always get a Steve Taylor bobblehead. So we had some fun with it, but we were able to raise lots of money for good organizations like yours. But you guys really got behind it. Talk a little bit about the video that you did too.
So the video, it was for Project PJ, as a matter of fact, because we start our collection actually in December, so that came right on time. And we just had a lot of fun. We laughed at you, Steve, with the bobblehead. And we was like, we gotta go in
That's
and get
good.
one of those bobbleheads.
I'm used to people laughing at me.
We should totally enter that contest. We were gonna have a lot of fun with that bobblehead.
No,
But
that's great.
totally. So the funds that we got from there, we actually used to buy cases of pillowcases.
Okay.
So what we do with those pillowcases is we actually stuff them full of the donations that we get. So
wow.
there's a pillowcase, there's a pair of PJs,
Yeah.
a pair of slippers or socks, a book, some hygiene items. We wrap it up. We let the folks know what size, boy or girl, and we distribute those to different organizations throughout Northwest Ohio.
That's great.
So thank you.
Something else you wouldn't think about, clean, fresh pillowcases, right?
That's
but
right.
So many times, you know, I walk into my 14-year-old son's room and I don't see any pillowcases on those pillows.
Yeah,
and I'm afraid of what's on the actual pillows, right? So I know what you're talking about with those pillowcases.
Yeah.
Before we let you go, I always like to ask guests that come in, I like to ask them if they've got a story or something that stands out from their time at the food bank, maybe some way that you made a difference or some story that really resonated with you that maybe would share with the folks to say, you know, this is why we're doing this is how we make a difference in our community, and maybe it encourages a few folks to give back and donate too. You have a story like that?
I do have a story like that. My very own story, as a matter of fact. So I don't know if you can hear it in my voice, but I'm a Floridian, that's where I come from.
Okay.
So I moved to Toledo about 11 years ago, and I started volunteering at SeaGate Food Bank. Very shy, just came from a very, just not too social, because I found that every time I spoke that people was like, where you from, New Orleans? Where you from? I have these gold teeth, I have dreadlocks, I just look a little different, right? And so just that judgment, but I just stayed to myself. I was volunteering, and I was offered an opportunity to come in the inside of to come from the warehouse to come inside and actually stomp some envelopes, right?
Okay.
So I'm stomping the envelopes. So at the time, the community awareness director at that time was just like, hey, you're doing a good job. I'm like, stomping these envelopes, how hard it is me. But anyway, so that went on, and after that time, I just was, you know, hey, Cheri, come over here and do some work for us over here in the office. At this time, no one knew, but I was homeless at this time. Moved here with my 3 kids, just escaping just a different way of life.
Sure.
So I moved here and I was alone. I had no one, no friends, no anything. The women at the food bank at that time, there was Deb Boss, and there was actually also Mindy Rapp, who is now my executive director.
Okay.
But they took me in and they mentored me and they shined me up and they loved me for who I was and allowed me to be myself. I went to school, I got my degree, I came back as an intern, and I just worked my way up. I'm now the director of community engagement. So my story is just one that I like to share with people, especially when our volunteers that come in, because it's just one of those things like, hey, I don't know where you are in your life, but you know, but I know what's possible for you. So just keep pushing on.
That is
and give back the best way that you know how, which is time. So volunteers are totally the heart of our organization. I love each and every volunteer that comes in. I love on them, I do. And I'm just very appreciative of just all of the sponsors and all of the wonderful mentors and just people who just accept us for who we are.
That is
So,
fantastic. Well, awesome. Well, thank you for sharing that story.
Yes.
That obviously they made a big difference on your life and a huge impact in our community. So if you want to get involved, you want to help out, you want to have an impact, there's no better way to do it than to donate to the Toledo SeaGate Food Bank,
That's
right?
right.
That's easy as that.
SeaGate Food Bank.
And make sure you send in some PJs while you're doing it, right?
Please do.
All right. Well, thank you for being on our show
Thank
today.
you
It was
for
so great
having
to
me,
have you.
Steve.
Thanks for tuning in to Taylor's Community Connection. We'll see you next time.